Monday.
Nice
It's a
dance.
Monday. It's for sure a
Nice dance.
Monday.
Good morning, Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us all. Either bright-eyed or bushy-tailed. We don't require both. All right. One
I
or the
mean,
other is
both is nice.
both is nice, but if you only feel that you're up to either the bright-eyed or the bushy-tailed, we're okay with that.
What's
But do
bushy
like,
tailed?
follow, subscribe, whatever you can do. Wait, you're not okay with just either bright-eyed or bushy-tailed, Jen?
I guess I would be, but I need to know what bushy tailed is.
Bushy-tailed.
Okay.
Bushy-tailed. All right. So today, do you want to start off by mentioning this thing you have here for the open you're very excited about?
Oh, Seattle Cocktail Week and
Hmm.
Women's History Month.
Both of those
Yeah,
things, yeah.
I just wanted to make you aware of them. I mean, Seattle Cocktail Week, I have not participated in a long while.
Okay.
But I think I might try, I just might check it out a little bit. And there's this carnival of cocktails on Saturday. I cannot go, unfortunately. But it looks like a very fun event. And if you're interested, I would check it out.
Why can you not go on Saturday?
I already have plans. I already had plans before I figured out that it was happening.
Okay. Bigger plans than cocktail week, right?
Well, our carnival of cocktails. Anyway, moving along, we have a great show planned for you. Lots to
Please.
learn, including things that Curt and I have learned as we prepped for this show.
It's true. We did also, well, I think first and foremost, we're going to go over some of the Oscar stuff.
Yeah, in case you missed it last night, we have
Mhm.
a new work term called task masking that we will talk about, and a new
Didn't know what that was.
fashion trend that I can't seem to wrap my head around.
I'm half okay with it, and half not so much.
I bet
That's
you
fine.
are half okay with it, Kurt,
Uh,
only because it's halfway down.
our our question of the day from Friday was how have you become like your parents? Going to go over that along with the three things happy couples have in common.
And finally, well, not even finally, this is just some of the things we're doing. A new term and slash item that we discovered this morning. That was what I was talking about earlier. I
Oh,
like
okay.
the thing that we discovered, Kurt. Like we both were like, wait, what?
And and on top of that, we think it's funny.
It
So
is funny.
because it's juvenile, right?
Yeah.
To recap the Oscars from last night,
Did you okay, hold on. Did you watch?
I watched some of it, but I was at a noisy bar.
Okay, so I
And
tried to watch it on Hulu because I wanted to stream it. Both my roommate Jackie and I tried to log on. So Hulu streamed the Academy Awards for the first time last night, but it like Down Detector reported tens of thousands of people unable to access the live stream. That was
right?
us.
Okay.
Um, that was within the broadcast first hour, and then it shut down before the last two awards were done.
Mm,
I
not
mean,
good.
so that's a hot mess express for Hulu. They got to figure some stuff out if they're going to do a big show like that.
Well, I mean, I don't. This is not me saying I told you so. But whenever we, you know, that every other year you have to talk to Xfinity and they want to renew your cable and blah 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 blah. Otherwise, your bill's going to go up. And they say, you can stream all these things. You don't need to have a cable box. Like, you know what? I'll stick with the box. I'll stream when I want to, but I'm just, it's like, uh, and of course, sometimes the cable box and the cable goes down as well. It's not foolproof by any stretch, but um,
All right.
what you
Well,
missed was a lot of Enora. Let's just
a
put it
lot
that
of it
way.
was about Honora. That film was the big Oscar winner last night, taking home 5 statues. The movie won Best Picture. Sean Baker won for editing, directing, and writing. There was a thing that he like set a record for being fun fact. Oh, here it is, the fun fact. The first person to win 4 Oscars for the same film, claiming the prizes for what I just said: best original screenplay, best editing, best directing, and best picture.
Now they went on to the individual acting awards. The Best Actress went to Mikey Madison and that was for Enora.
I was bummed. I mean, I'm sure she did a great job. I
Right.
really, really, really wanted Demi Moore to win, so I'm super bummed she didn't.
Yeah. And she did a good job in The Substance as well. Best Actor went to Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, which I've not seen, although it claims that he droned on. Droned on is the quote here. I didn't say that. He droned on for more than 5 minutes.
For more than 5 minutes?
He even made them cut the playoff music so he could keep talking. You know what they can also do? Cut a mic.
God, he had too much time.
Kieran Culkin won for A Real Pain, Best Supporting Actor. Zoe Saldana won for Amelia Perez, Supporting Actress.
Um, I had to look this up because I'm like, Daryl Hannah is still relevant. She was at the Oscars last night. I was like, I need to look up to see what she looks like. She looks great.
Yeah, she
That
was
was the
there as
only time
well.
the show got political, by the way.
Oh, with her?
Yep.
Okay, she said Slava Ukraine at the very end
Yeah.
when she was presenting an award. She was presenting. She was not up for award.
No.
I guess
Yeah.
people think that Conan O'Brien did a good job. I've never been a huge fan of his, but uh,
I'll go back and listen slash watch. I'll watch the intro just to see how he did.
yeah, I should too, you know.
But you know
Uh,
what? You know why? Because Adam Sandler made a guest appearance. Like Adam Sandler never goes to award shows, and he made a
right.
guest appearance in the opening.
Okay. And of course they always have the do you want to talk about that? How unfortunately, how do you when with all the tools at your disposal to go back over the past year and say here are some of the legendary performers that we lost. How do you make any omissions accidentally? How is that even possible? So apparently,
I know, and
um,
here's what I wanted to tell you too is Morgan Freeman got on stage and did a whole tribute to the late Gene Hackman, deservedly so, right? I mean,
mhm,
he's an iconic actor,
right,
but he should have his time. Like I feel like next year when they do that kind of thing, right? You die and then you get memorialized at the next
right.
Oscar. You know what
And
I
I'm sure
mean?
Gene Hackman will as well. Maybe, I mean, but it's fresh. Obviously, just happened. So I think people are, if they would not have done something for Gene Hackman, I think people would have said, "Hey,"
Okay. All right,
yeah.
fair enough. However, they
But
missed a bunch of people in the memoriam
well,
segment.
Michelle Trachtenberg also just passed away. Same day we heard about Gene Hackman, but Linda Lavin, who was Alice, Shannon Doherty, of course, everybody knows from 90210. Tony Roberts was in a lot of Woody Allen movies, early Woody Allen movies. Martin Mull and Olivia Hussey were both omitted. And I'd like to say,
Do you know who Tony quote Candyman Todd is too? I didn't know who that was.
I, I,
Anyway,
I
they miss these people and it's just a bummer. And that's just to me, there's no excuse for missing because you can, like you said, you can look it up.
it's easy to find. All right, let's move on then.
All right.
This is still a couple weeks out, but I thought people might want to know about it, right?
Mark your calendars.
Uh, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I don't know if this is a first. I don't think it is, but it's just a reminder that the Seattle Center is going to be celebrating Irish culture, heritage, and community. The Irish Festival Seattle happening over St. Patrick's Day weekend. If you have Irish in your blood, I'm 1/4 Irish, 3/4 German, I guess, and 1/4 Irish. There was an O'Shea. O'Shea was my paternal grandmother. Okay, so what you'd expect: Irish music, dancing, cultural exhibits, all that kind of stuff, and it's
Family
fun for the whole
friendly.
family at the Seattle Center.
That's on March 15th and 16th from noon to 6.
Do we do a free plug for our friend Sean, who's going to have a big St.
Well,
Patrick's Day?
we can, but you cannot get into the restaurant on St.
It's so
Patrick's
packed,
Day.
Sean O'Donnell's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
Sean
it's a
O'Donnell's
great
is
party.
it's great Irish food for sure, but you don't. I wouldn't try to go there on St. Patrick's Day. I
We
wouldn't.
also have, and I don't have music to play for this, um, an update on what's going on with the whole Gene Hackman passing
Well,
away
because
thing.
we're bringing this up only because something is like not right
Hmm.
in Gene Hackman land.
It seems like that. So just what you know so far is that Gene, his wife Betsy, and one of their three dogs were found deceased. And this was when did they come forward with
He
this? It
died
was
on February 17th. He died on February 17th, but what they found out during some early autopsy reports is that he has been dead. He was dead for more than a week before his body was found.
right. It looks like according to his pacemaker, which obviously keeps track of your, heart and rhythm and stuff like that. That shows that he died on the 17th. Of course, their bodies weren't found until 9 days later. So that I know I just basically repeated what you said, but
No, but I didn't say that right though. You corrected it. That's exactly right. They yeah.
so, and at first, people, well, what could have happened? Carbon monoxide poisoning was the quick culprit people thought because there's no sign of violence or anything like that. But they found out now that they did not die of carbon monoxide poisoning. At least the early test found that. So, Also, and I didn't know this, evidently the Hackmans were very, very private people. Which is, maybe that's why the reason why 9 days went by before anybody found them. So there were no cameras inside or outside the property to help with the investigation, and it just goes on. The mummification part was kind of weird.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll find. This is going to be interesting it's just a good mystery.
I didn't know that your body would just mummify itself after X amount of time.
Yeah, I was talking to Pat about that because, he has a lot of experience with death being a firefighter.
Well, I'm
Um,
sure it's not the same as what we're thinking, the monster running around and
no.
wrapped up in bandages or whatever, but eh. Tell us about task masking, Miss Janet.
Well, okay, so this is what this article said. I was like, I have never heard of this before. Has your boss asked you to send them an email detailing everything you did last week or risk being terminated? They're doing a play off of what Trump did. Maybe they're
Well,
all
Elon
trying to
Musk, yeah.
sniff out task masking. That's apparently a new workplace term kicking around, which is where employees spend a lot of time and effort just trying to look like they're working hard, when in reality, they're hardly doing anything at all.
Do you remember the Seinfeld episode about that? George discovered that people would leave him alone if he looked busy, and the way he would look busy was by looking stressed. He was like, oh, a lot of what you used to do in your office, Jen.
Right. Apparently, it's Gen Z workers that are making this a thing, and there are videos on TikTok that offer advice for task masking, stuff like walking fast with a laptop stuffed under your armpit, making really loud typing sounds. It sounds corny, but some managers are saying it's the trend, and they're actually seeing it trickle into the workforce.
All right. You didn't do any task masking. We couldn't get away with that.
I had way too many things to do
Exactly.
to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess they're saying it's always been a thing. We just never gave it a name like that. And they said, remember quiet quitting and quiet firing?
Same type of thing.
All right.
Humans, what are you going to do, right?
Right. I saw this on my social media feed because I follow the Gottman Institute because, number one, the Gottmans are local. He does a lot of research with the University of Washington.
Mhm.
John Gottman and his wife. And there was this thing that I wanted to just pass along. Happy couples have these three things in common, according to the Gottman Institute, which means it's based on a crap ton of research. Number
Okay.
one is managing conflict. It's not avoiding fights, but how you repair and work through them together.
True.
Rituals of connection, shared habits like morning coffee or bedtime routines strengthen bonds. And then fondness and admiration. Happy couples regularly express appreciation for each other.
That last one is an important one too. Nobody wants to say, "Hey, did you notice what I did?" But getting some reassurance and some, "Hey, thanks," and an appreciation, I think is a big part of it.
And I always tell Pat how hot he is.
Okay.
And Studley.
And he responds with, "You're so pretty.
No, he does not.
You're so pretty." All
Oh.
right. The unhealthiest foods on the planet. Unfortunately, I find that I'm actually an active participant in devouring some of these unhealthy foods.
Big backing. Curt is what it's called. Big backing.
Thanks. This is from eatthis.com. In case you didn't know, there's no real surprise. There's one surprise on here for me. This is
Oh,
the
really?
10 unhealthiest foods on the planet. I don't think these are any particular order.
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay, so let's go backwards.
Well,
Number
okay,
10 says
so
cake.
yeah, 10 is
Is that
cake
healthy?
and 9 is ice cream and 8 is donuts. Are you
Okay.
surprised at number 7?
A little bit microwave popcorn. I knew that it wasn't as healthy. When we make popcorn, you know what we do? We take corn kernels and a little bit of oil and we pop it in the microwave. And that seems to work
You
okay.
stop there because I go an extra step and melt a crap ton of butter and
Oh
put
yeah,
some
that's
salt
after the
on it.
fact. But I didn't think that microwave popcorn therefore was that bad for you. I just knew it wasn't as good for you. So let's
I
get
bet
back
you
to
it's
list
the
number
process
6.
part. I bet you it's the process part.
Sure. 6 on the list is cookies, followed by the top 5 least healthy foods on the planet: fast food burgers, French fries, bacon and or hot dogs,
That's processed meats.
white bread, processed bread, and potato chips. Yay.
There's actually a list of 100, but those are the top 10. There's a lot of stuff on there like ketchup and barbecue sauce, frozen dinners, coffee creamer. All
that
right.
you eat?
No, I mean, do I eat everything in that top 10? I don't do microwave popcorn, I guess,
Right.
as much. Well, no, I
Well,
do. Yeah,
and
I eat all that stuff.
this is not calling you out. I'm just saying if I looked at that list of 100, I'd probably be ashamed as to how many of those I actually do eat, you know. Trying to get
Yeah.
away from the processed food is a big part of it, but so far I've been medium successful on that. I'm going to try to up my game.
Our question of the day is how have you become like your mom or dad?
Did you want to answer that real quick, Jen? You had several examples, I think, and you said you're going to share them for today
I was
or save
thinking,
them.
yeah, I think that there's the most like I've become my mom, you're going to say, oh my God, that's so cheesy, is her kindness. I mean, she always was preaching being a kind human. And I really try to embody that. So, there's that. I mean, I find myself like, oh my gosh, I'm becoming my mom when I say certain
Right.
things. I can't think of an example, but yeah.
I think my biggest thing is since we don't have kids, a lot of this is like, what things that you say to your kids and you catch yourself like, I can't believe I just that's what my
Yeah.
mom or dad would say. But for me, it's uh older phrases that, like you had one that was we asked about that. It was malarkey or something like that. It
Oh,
wasn't that.
heavens to Murgatroyd is what my grandmother
Yeah.
always said.
I find myself saying phrases going, does anybody say that anymore?
Hey, what did some of our listeners say?
How have you become like your mom or dad? Marilyn says, more like my mom as she was money smart. Oh, that's a good one. Now I'm retired. I'm following her advice to stay out of debt. So that's a good one. That's not
Yep.
like a funny one. But Jason, here's the conversation between the son and the dad. Jason, Dad, is it raining hard outside? Me, channeling my dad. Harder than a cow pissing on a flat rock. So maybe that's also the sort of sage advice type of phrases and stuff that you become like your dad or mom. I don't.
Randy said, like them, meaning his parents, I too have awesome children.
Oh man, bragger
Here,
Randy.
Carrie said Randy all, but it's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
she's
mean, yeah,
backing him up. It's
yeah,
interesting that Randy and Carrie are married, so
yes,
they
that's
both
right.
think that they
Okay.
are. All right. So Connie Thompson, our favorite, she says, when you say call or text, so we know you got home all right.
Yep, I say that.
And then James responded to that. He said, I'd get home late. My mom would be up. He'd say, Connie Thompson, when I was in high school, I'd get home late. And my mom would say, I can't go to sleep until I know you're home. Did you run into that ever, Jen?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Saying, I can't go to sleep until I know you're home.
Yeah, and now guess what? Guess what? James does now. Same thing with his daughter.
Absolutely. Jenny um, also said, I'm very frugal like my dad was. Like we had at the beginning there with Maryland. So I guess frugality is a genetic thing or it's handed down from the generations.
And she says a lot of the same things her mom says and
Right.
does. Both what her mom says and does. And then Lane said, "Don't get me started." So that must mean he has a lot of traits, which I love. I think that that's good.
Or that's what he heard from his parents. Don't get me started.
Oh, you're
No,
right.
I think that you're correct. I think it could go either way though. He's like, don't get me started. Is I'm sure I've got a long list,
All right,
not
let's
just
talk about this
a
new
parental
latest thing in
phrase.
fashion, Curt.
What's that about fashion?
Yeah, I'm going moving on.
Oh, okay. Fashion music.
I'll let you talk about it since you really like it.
I really like it. I don't think that's the case, but they're saying in this, often when they have these uh, big time fashion shows in Milan, this one is in Milan, or Paris or whatever, you see people wearing things and you're like, there's no way anybody would ever wear that in a regular situation.
I bet you $100 that this actually catches on.
That's what I'm saying here. I think that this one might actually catch on. This is from the fashion company Diesel. At Milan Fashion Week, Diesel debuted its latest collection, and it features extremely low-cut jeans. You're thinking, well, what's the big deal about that? People get low-cut jeans forever. This, how the deal is, it shows a lot of the crackle area.
They're calling it the plumber's crack fashion statement.
Hmm.
But it's not accidental, it's on purpose. And like Curt and I were looking, we're like, what, we got to check this out. So we watched a little bit of the video from the Milan fashion show and Kurt's like, I kind of like this.
Yes. Well, this is if people are into cracks, I guess. I don't know. Here's my question. When does it become plumber's crack? How much crack has to be showing to be considered plumber's crack? Is there an actual measurement?
Is the thing, Kurt. Plumber's crack is accidental. That's what I would
Mhm.
say. This is more of a fashion statement. This is on purpose. And like
Mhm.
you said, well, this looks pretty good on those people.
On
That's
those
because they're
people.
models.
That's true. It's not going to look good on me,
You'd
definitely.
never
So,
call what they're showing as a plumber's crack. You would not say that because it
right.
looks beautiful.
And that's the thing, but the jeans are cut so I mean you can pull those things up as high as you want. It's still gonna that's where they're cut right there across, halfway down the old bum.
I don't
Would you wear it?
know. No, because see, if they're cut that low, there's the front side you got to worry about too.
That's what I'm thinking.
So if
They
you've
don't
got a
call it
front
they call
butt,
it plumber's crack jeans, not the muffin top jeans. That's what it would be for me.
here's my front butt.
I'm sure they cost a hefty amount of money as well. Diesel
Oh,
jeans for plumber's crack.
dear.
Dan Pirak.
I knew you were going to say that on this one.
We both saw this story and I think we both approached it from a different angle. I was like, and the headline was simple. Do you cheat while playing card games or board games? And I'm like, Jen does. And Jen's thinking probably, no, I don't.
Well, here's the thing I'm going to tell you. I don't cheat to win. I cheat to have fun at the game because specifically like Cards Against Humanity, let's say. If I don't have any good cards to even play, I'm just going to draw more cards because what does that really harm? Everyone, I don't care if everyone draws more cards because find one that's going to work, that's going to be funny.
The idea is for you to be creative and use what you have in your hand to make something
When
funny.
the resources are abundant, take advantage of them.
All right. I don't know if that's kind of changing the rules. And sometimes, and I've been in that situation as well with some games, like, what would be better, at least for us that are playing it, whatever group, is if we did this. Like when we were playing, oh, what is the stupid game? The Play Nine, the golf game. The thing says, when you get down to one card, you can pass or you can go out. And we're like, and when you get down to one card, you either have to pick a card or go out. There's no passing because that makes the game go on forever. So yeah, just an invented rule, I guess. But that's not what they're talking about, the cheating here.
Okay, well, according to the poll that they did, 33% of Americans, so 1 in 3, have a partner who has admitted to cheating in the past. And 14% say they always cheat, often cheat, or sometimes cheat. So, I mean, I guess if you're not following the rules, would that be considered cheating? Because I'm really not cheating to try to win the game, even though I'm very competitive. I would
That's the
never
thing.
win
You've told
that
me
way.
so many times how competitive you are. To
I
me,
would,
it's like, yeah, I'm the same way. I don't get frustrated. It's a fun time to hang out and chat and be with friends. And so I don't care if I win or lose. I don't care. Some people, they lose, they tip the board game over and stomp off. Is
I
that
mean,
you, Jen?
no, to feel
Mm,
better about it, over half of the people said they never cheat, and 19% said they rarely cheat.
mm-hmm.
So that's good.
So you're in the bottom, sometimes, often, or always. Boy, you're in the 2% that says always, Jen.
I don't always cheat on every game I play. That is not true. I don't want to win by cheating. I really don't. Like if it's a competitive game, I'll follow the rules. But if it's just a fun like game like Cards Against
Mhm.
Humanity, who cares?
A little side note here with everybody that's listening or watching. So, Jen, this does not include you. I've played board games with Jen before, and you are so stinking competitive. I can't believe you said I don't play to win. You do play to win, without a doubt.
I would say that on games like Cards Against Humanity, I don't care if I win that one because that one's just a fun one where you're sitting around with a bunch, you know what I mean? But like if it's Scrabble or Bananagrams or Racco or any of the other, like I want to win for sure, and I'm not cheating.
Right, but just so you have one example where you're not competitive in games, and 72 where you are.
Oh
So,
yes, but I'm not cheating. That's the
okay,
story.
that's all right. This is all sciencey and stuff.
I just wanted to mention this. Our friend Carrie posted this on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm going to grab this because this is really cool. So it says, when pregnant, the cells of the baby migrate into the mother's bloodstream and then circle back into the baby. It's called fetal, maternal, micro, how do you say that, Curt?
I'm not telling you. You wanted to do the story.
Microchimerism.
I guess microchimerism, chimerism.
Anyway, for 41 weeks, this happens where it's going, back and forth until the baby's born. And they say that after the baby's born, many of these cells stay in the mother's body, leaving a permanent imprint in the mother's tissues, bones, brain, and skin, and often stay there for decades. Every single child a mother has afterwards will leave a similar imprint on her body as well. And the research shows that if a mother's heart is injured, fetal cells will rush to the site, to the injury, to change into different types of cells to specialize in mending the heart. What? So the baby helps repair the mother while the mother builds the baby and vice versa. I just think that that's super cool. I didn't know that.
Did they help each other out?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is often why certain illnesses vanish during pregnancy, just because
Oh, okay.
they're protecting each other's bodies at all costs.
Human bodies are a pretty amazing thing, especially the ones that are giving birth. I mean, at least dudes, we don't have to be concerned with that stuff.
I just think that, yeah, I just think that that's really cool. Studies have shown that cells from the fetus in a mother's brain stays in a mother's brain for 18 years after she gives birth. So if you're a mom, you know how you can intuitively feel your child even when they're not there. Well, there you go. That's the science.
That is pretty cool.
I think so. Okay, that's all.
Well, we don't get that many banana stories on the show, so this is good. Scientists have created a banana that stays fresh for 12 hours after opening.
Yeah, because when you open a banana and if you don't want to eat the whole thing right then, it gets brown right away.
I do not know what it's like to open a banana and not eat the whole thing.
Oh.
It's not that massive to me. It's like if I have a banana, I'll probably finish it off, but Dana leaves half a banana behind. That's true.
Scientists in the UK have created a new banana that stays fresh 12 hours after you peel them so that you can put them in a fruit salad and they won't get brown and mushy. And that is
That's
amazing. Nice. This new variety will have 30% less browning than the traditional banana. Everything else is the same. They will have the same taste, smell, sweetness, texture, just with edited banana genes.
Banana genes.
I just wanted you to know, in case you were wondering, how can I make, besides putting it in lemon juice to preserve my bananas from turning brown, what else can I do? Well, you can buy these new bananas, which will launch later this month in several countries, including ours in Canada. There you go.
Okay. Once I find out what the extra goodies are inside that make them last longer. But you're the kind that if there's like one brown spot on the peel, you're like, this is too old, correct? Too ripe.
Yeah, here's the funny thing, Curt. Even though they were designed in Britain, they won't sell them there because they ban the sale of genetically edited plants and fruits.
Okay. So if I want to have this super banana, we got to have them in the States.
Yeah.
Or someplace nearby.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So I wanted to apologize to those listening for not telling you about this sooner so you could participate if you wanted.
All of our Florida listeners, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could fly to Florida and be a part of it. Do you want to talk about this since you've been to Florida many, many times? Have you participated?
Well, my relatives all live there now, and there was a few years ago they said, "Hey, here's something funny to do. Just Google your birthday." And so, okay, August 26th. And then Google your birth date followed by the words Florida man. And the joke was, no matter what day of the year it is, if you put Florida man into Google, something newsworthy is going to come up that somebody did in Florida that was kind of dumb. You know what I mean?
Well, this might be one of them because it was the second
I think
annual,
what sort of started this.
the second annual Florida Man Games, which continue to be a big success.
Some of the sports, quote unquote, the evading arrest obstacle course, if you can try to escape from handcuffs and then throw an alligator through a drive-through window. Wow.
Steal a catalytic converter, all while being chased by the cops.
Got it. I see. That's what
you
got to do.
Actual cops.
The weaponized pool noodle mud duel, just like Joust from American Gladiators, but in a mud baby pool. Then how about the Florida sumo cage match and beer chug?
How does that work? Fight someone while holding a pitcher of beer, trying not to spill it. The loser can still get points by chugging the winner's remaining beer. What?
And as if that's not enough, they have some new events for this year. The Hurricane Party Prep Grocery Aisle Brawl. Human Beer Pong is another one
Oh,
that you
wait a
can.
second. You're in a big inflatable bubble and have to get past someone, then jump into a pool that looks like a red Solo cup. The loser has to chug beer, whiskey, or bong water.
I see. So the giant bubble is like the ping pong ball, and the red Solo Cup pool is the red Solo Cup when you play beer pong. But it's
Okay.
human beer pong. That's something that'd be fun.
Wow.
If you're
Okay.
interested, again, look up Florida Man Games, and it may not be too late for you to get involved if you so desire.
Well, they're holding it next year, so just in case you know, whatever.
There's still time.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay, go, Jen.
I think this is our last story before we reveal the question of the day, and this came as a surprise to I think me and Curt. I'm like, Curt, because I read it and I'm like, I have no idea what this is, but it's saying everybody knows what this is. Curt, do you know what a poop knife is? And you're like, no,
I said, say it again. Go for it.
poop knife.
Knife.
So then we go down the rabbit hole of, Google and looking on the interwebs of all the things that people are saying about this thing, which is actually a thing.
Actually a thing, a poop knife, also known as a fecal cleaver, dung divider, or a guano glaive. Apparently, here's just so this is what it says on the package of the poop knife. Be a samurai of the poo poo platter. It's like it's a metal reinforced silicone, strong, hygienic, easy to clean, and if you dare, dishwater safe knife
Dishwasher
that's
safe.
actually designed. They say sometimes you have a big poo. Have this knife handy. I suppose you reach into the toilet and cut the
Chop
poo
it
in
up so
half.
that it goes down the toilet better. And then I was reading, so one of the things that comes up when you Google it is the Reddit, what people say on Reddit, and they're like, yeah, this is a real thing. My grandparents even had one hanging in the laundry room, this big rusty metal thing that we would use, that if the poop was too big, we would chop it up so it will go down better. And okay, and you said it's dishwasher safe. This does not go in the dishwasher. No, you take it out into the outside and like maybe rinse it with the garden hose or something. I don't even know, but none of this even makes sense to me.
Well, have you ever had a big poo?
Well, then I looked up what this looks like. I'm like, okay, I did images, right? I hit images and I see the image and I'm like, wait
I
a second,
have one.
I have one. Like, this is what it says it looks like. It's what, like, I bought this or I got it as a gift. I specifically asked for it because it helps scrape jars. Like when I'm making sourdough bread to get the sourdough starter out of the jar. Yeah, this is what I use, but this is what a poop knife looks like.
So you thought you're like, this is a red spatula, as far as I'm concerned.
It had nothing that said poop knife on it, but this is what it looks like.
Well, it is important that it has a long handle on it, so you're not getting down into the actual watery mess
With your
while
hand.
doing your slicing. I just, and also I was like, where did you, and that happens from time to time. You're just reading a random story and suddenly they talk about, hey, well, I got out my poop knife. You're like, what? So
I mean, they do say
everybody else know what that was, and we're just finding out now.
they say it's a good gay gift. They do say it's a good gay gift, but there's people out there that are saying they've used it. Have you used any kind of something like that, Curt, at all
Me?
ever? Yeah.
No. I think we used something called a plunger, and that usually took care of the problem. But evidently, back in the day, like, oh, we got this rusty old knife over here, and I could see how it'd be a great gag gift.
Okay, hold on. This is bringing back memories now. Riley, my oldest daughter, Riley, when she was
Mhm.
smaller, very smaller, had like the biggest baseball poop ever. We were like, how did this even come out?
I
I
didn't
feel
know
like
this was where this was going, by the
I
way.
feel like maybe Dwayne, because I was married to Dwayne at the time. I think maybe he had to get something because it would not go down. Like it was this big, like I don't know how that came out of her.
And now you're using it to scrape your dishes.
No, I'm not.
Are you
I
sure
don't
that's not the
remember what
same thing?
I don't remember what he used, but all right. The question of that was, you're welcome for ending on a poop note. Here's your question of the day, Curt.
This and they're not related, or maybe they are. Our question of the day is a simple one. Describe your year. We're 3 months in now. Well, 2 full months in a few days. Describe your year so far in 5 words or less. That's pretty generous. 5 words is pretty generous because sometimes they say in a word.
Yeah. 5 words or less, describe your year so far. Going by too fast. I think these last 2 months have gone by so
Gone by
fast.
already?
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about this. 5 words left my year so far.
Okay, well, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
I've got still enjoying not working much.
Still enjoying not working much. Oh, okay, that's good.
Mhm.
Perfect. There you go.
Although sometime I'm probably going to have to start making money again. I
Yep.
guess that's the thing, right? All
All
right,
right,
let us know. We'll
here we
talk
go.
about it tomorrow, sharing your responses on that. And again, like, follow, subscribe. We would sure appreciate that.
Yeah, we're so glad you listened. Thank you for letting us be part of your Monday. We hope you have a great week. Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and laugh. Have a good one.